what's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. So we got a bunch of stuff for you today. I mean, we got some stuff that came in from iCast. We got some new soft plastics, some stuff for forward-facing sonar, big top waters. Let's jump right into it. First one from Shimano. So we just got our first batch of Shimano Curado M. So the brand new Curado, super exciting for a new generation of Curado to finally hit the market. And we just got a few of them in stock, so grab them while you can, while the first batch is still available. With the new Curado, what they've done to the Curado M series from the K, they've updated the spool. So they've put in their MGL3 spool in there. And what that is, it's a much lighter weight spool. So it takes less inertia to get it to start up and spin. And what that's going to be great for is those smaller weight baits. So, smaller weight, small hard baits, small jigs, anything that's a little bit lighter in weight, it's now going to be a lot easier to throw it on a full-size Curado 200. So if you want to throw small cranks, stuff like that, no problem. But the Curado, a legendary reel, you can always throw big stuff. It feels right at home with big, deep diving crankbaits, A-rigs, swim baits, whatever you want. So now with that new spool in there, it's just a more rounded Curado, which is awesome. The Curado's been, in Shimano's lineup forever and ever, and they're super durable, rock solid reels, never let you down. I have every Curado that I've ever bought and still to this day. With that new MGL spool, just going to broaden that range a little bit. But if you need that increased line capacity, you want to fill it up with 17, 20-pound line, throw something big, you have that as well. New Curado just hit the market, or just hit the warehouse, actually. So snag them while you can. Another one we got from Shimano, the new Antenza series. So they've updated this Antenza series. They got a bunch of casting, glass cranking rods, and spinning models. So we got the whole series in. Really cool updates. So down here on the bottom section of the rod, they've put their DiaFlash technology on there. So what that is if you can see up here on the blank, they're using a carbon fiber tape that's crisscrossed. It's kind of wrapped diagonally down this lower section, this bottom third of the blank. And what that's going to do, it's going to help reinforce this lower section of the blank, give you better durability, keep it from ovalizing so you get better strength. It's going to resist the twisting as well when the rod's under severe load, especially when you're flipping and stuff. It's not the blank's not going to twist on you, and then also going to increase your lifting power. But overall, improve the cosmetics up and down this rod. I believe it's a huge upgrade from the last generation that had kind of a unique black textured grip on there. They went to that cork style, that cork on there, custom Shimano grip, and then the gold accents EVA foam nut on the top. Just overall, awesome looking series of rods here. Nice update on the Shimano Antenza series. All right, new big bait we got here from Defiant. So we got their new crawler, the bird crawler topwater bait. As you can see, it looks just like a bird. This is an awesome bait. I mean, huge topwater bait. If you're really going for, big bites on topwater baits, I mean, this is something you want to look at. And the profile of this bait and the colors and everything really made to mimic those small birds, that you often see out when you're fishing. And just something that we all know, if you've ever been out fishing, small birds get attacked by large predators all the time. And kind of a big profile that there's not a lot of lures that really accurately mimic that. With this bait, has that nice bird profile of it. And then on the wings, custom high quality stainless steel metal wings on there. And when this thing's swimming across the surface, you reel it, I mean, it really moves side to side, and it rolls and it splashes and creates a huge commotion. So this is a multi-species bait, big bass, muskie, pike, all kinds of stuff like that. They will attack this thing. In the package as well, it comes with a second set of wings. On the inside, it has a full ABS through wire construction. So if you do hook, that muskie of a lifetime, and or just a giant fish, or maybe you cast it up against a piece of hardcover and you're worried about the structural integrity, when you hook that fish, you're not going to have to worry if you catch something that really breaks this thing apart, you're still going to land it with that through wire construction on the inside. And then the hook hangers, they have those rotating hook hangers on there. So when you do hook a big fish, especially with treble hooks, this thing can spin and twist and going to be no problem, just eliminating that leverage to reduce the fish's chance from twisting and freeing that hook and getting off. So just increasing your landing ratios. Comes in the package with BKK treble hooks on there, super high quality treble hooks. Everything on this thing, top to bottom, high quality finishes, high quality hardware. Awesome new topwater if you're looking for something to get some really big bites. now kind of going towards the finesse end of the spectrum. So we got a whole bunch of stuff from Raid Japan. Whole bunch of products. We're going to have some on next week's show as well. But first, we're going to cover a few of the soft plastics. This is their new 3.3 Battle Hog. So really made to, downsize finesse style craw bait. With this bait, it's got pretty unique pincher design on it. They're kind of a three-dimensional shape, and they're kind of triangular. And what's cool about these is they're not made to flap and kick and, have a lot of crazy action. They're going to move in and out and up and down. So they are going to move, more like a live crawdad. And you can do all kinds of stuff with this. You can fish it. You can fish it on free rigs, Texas rigs, drop shots, whatever you want. And with all the different size legs on there, you're going to get a lot of different movements all at one time. So it's going to have a very natural presence in the water, and just something that's not overly aggressive like a lot of the aggressive, hard flapping craws that are out there on the market. So something just a little, tone it down. Get you a few more bites right now when it's tough fishing out there. The next one here, we have this the little sweeper swim bait. Now this comes in two sizes. Super intrigued by this little guy. So super realistic, small bait fish profile. On the inside, it actually has an air chamber. And what that's made to do is to keep this bait sitting perfectly horizontal. So if you're fishing it on a jig head or a drop shot, whatever you're doing, it just keeps that bait in that natural posture, just like a bait fish. Down on the tail, so instead of like a fork tail or a pin tail, it almost has like a mini swim bait wedge tail on it. So it's gonna get a really subtle action, and it looks super realistic with 3D eyes, the scales and stuff on it. It's really gonna shine in those clear water situations. But it's also got these small fins on the side, and on a drop shot, this thing has got some amazing action. When you see the underwater footage of this bait, it rolls side to side super hard. So you're getting that tail kicking action, and then it's going to roll side to side and flash. I mean, very similar to a live bait fish. Just something different, really unique, something to try out, especially with those pressured fish and when you need to downsize and you need something more realistic. The next one here is their big two-way wacky creature bait. So just like all these raid baits, I mean, they're loaded with scent. You can see the fingers here. They're greasy, and they got tons of scent loaded into these baits. With this bait, it's a wacky rig bait, but there's a bunch of stuff you can do with it as well. So you can wacky rig it, throw it on a drop shot. You can throw it weightless. You can rig it right here in the middle. And these two sides, I mean, they're going to move and push tons of water, get a crazy flapping action, and then you have all these little appendages just getting more action, making it even look more real in the water. But another thing you can do with it, you can break it in half, and you can only fish one side of it on the little hook. And it's almost like a lot of those baits coming out of Japan, like the fuzzy dice, the little square piece of plastic with all the hairs coming out of it. I mean, just something, small, little, unique looking, just something different. So a few different things you can do with that bait right there. The last one here is this new swim bait we got here from Raid Japan. This guy, I mean, the detailing on this one is awesome. And we got a couple different sizes and a couple unique features about this bait. So it does have a harness inside here, and it's made so you have perfect horizontal buoyancy on it. So it's actually going to sink perfectly horizontal. It'll rest on the bottom if you want to. It's got a line through system, big treble hook. So when you do hook a fish, I mean, the bait slides up the line, increase your landing ratios. But what's cool about this is it does have a small wedge tail. So it's super, super subtle. So, I mean, it just barely kicks in the water. It looks just like a live shad. But some of these fins, I mean, the fin down here on the bottom and then the dorsal fin on top, they're kind of flanged on the end. So even these fins are going to move when you're swimming it through the water, just giving you that nice secondary action, just look more lifelike. If you're looking for something, that's going to be a more subtle action in that smaller profile, I believe we have them in 5-inch and then a 5.5 or 5 3/4. So just a smaller profile, not like the big 8, 10-inch trout baits like most of them on the market. Just a little bit smaller, going to get you a ton of bites. Now, for the forward-facing guys. So the forward-facing sonar, super, super popular. And Gambler just released their entire lineup of forward-facing sonar baits. So this first one is their 3-inch minnow. And what's cool about these is with all these soft plastics from Gambler, they have a proprietary soft plastic, and they have materials that are added into the plastic that actually makes these reflect a lot better off your forward-facing sonar unit. So you can bomb these things way out there in front of the boat, even these small baits, And because of the additives that are in there, they reflect really well off those forward-facing sonar units and a little bit easier to see. Some of the baits on the market, you can drop them out there, 60, 80 feet out there in front of the boat, and they're really hard to pick up with that transducer. These are going to help reflect and give you that return and make it a little easier to see and a little easier to fish. So there's a 3-inch minnow bait, has a nice shad profile, fork tail, gets a nice quivering action, super, super subtle. If you want something a little bit bigger, they have this in a 4-inch model with a solid flat tail as well. So it glides through the water really nice. And then we have their forward-facing shad. So kind of a rib body with a pin tail on there. So this one gets a lot of action with that really small pin tail. And to match up with all that, Gambler has their hover hook. Now they are going to have a forward-facing Sonar jig head. It's going to be here any day. Actually, by the time this airs, we'll probably already have it in stock. But they have the hover hook as well. So this is made to be inserted fully into the body. It locks in there, so all of the lead is actually into the body of the bait. And this gets these soft plastics to sit horizontal and fish them more effective and make them look more natural when you're fishing them on suspended fish and fish that you're trying to target that are out on your forward-facing sonar. Razor sharp hook. We got a bunch of different sizes of these. You can pair them up with any of these forward-facing baits or one of your favorite soft plastics as well. All right, from Daiwa, we got a bunch of cool stuff from Daiwa. The first couple are actually inshore baits, but you can use these for bass fishing as well. The first one is the LazyFa Shad. This is a super cool twitch bait style lure. So it'll run about 3 feet, but you cast it out, it'll slowly float up, but you can crank it down a couple of feet. And if you straight wind it, it actually slithers kind of side to side, almost like a small glide bait. So it'll go side to side, but you can also twitch it, and it has really erratic darting action. So great for inshore guys that are fishing redfish and snook and all kinds of stuff like that. But another place where it might play, it's got loud knockers in it. So that one knocker really calls in fish from a far ways away. It's gonna be a great bait if you're chasing around schooling fish. It's heavy. It's got that nice profile. Be able to throw it really far, and then it has that good action. Goes side to side, looks like a shad just swimming, and it's not going to run very deep. So just something a little bit different and takes place of maybe a standard jerk bait or a crankbait or something like that. You can even run down the bank with this if you want. If you're running shallow water and you just want to throw something different than like your square bill or something like that. The next one is their KOZakana Jig. So they've got all kinds of sweet ocean jigs. I use a ton of them for tuna fishing, and this is something they've kind of added to their arsenal. This is actually the biggest of all the sizes. This is a 2-ounce size, but it is small and compact. These are really cool jigs. They really got these dialed in for the slow pitch market. If you're slow pitching for all types of species, from pelagic fish down to rockfish, all kinds of stuff like that, these catch a ton of fish. So it is a kind of a teardrop shape. So it does cast really well, and then when it gets down to the bottom, it's got a really cool flutter, and you can snap, and it swims up, and it flutters down. Gets really cool action. Comes with dual assist hooks, but again, it's one of those things that maybe not everyone's utilizing for bass fishing. You can get really small size, really compact jigs, jigging spoons, but in super heavy weights. So that's a problem with some of the jigging spoons out there. If you want a really small one, they're typically really lightweight and hard to fish deep, or especially in a lot of current or heavy wind situations. This will help you eliminate that, and something small, compact, you can catch those pressured fish with a jigging style lure. Last one from Daiwa is their new front loader pack. So new tackle bag, move some of this stuff out of the way here so I can slide it on over. New front loader bag. So if you're looking for a new tackle bag, this is a great option. Super heavy duty construction on the outside, waterproof bottom on the bottom here. It's got little rubber feet and then a waterproof material on the bottom to keep all your tackle from not getting wet, especially if you're on sport boats or if you're out in rough water. Just keep all that stuff dry on the inside. On the top, it's got a nice organizer system that you can kind of adjust, and you can kind of use it as like a reel bag, or you can organize it to house different spools of line, kind of configure it however you want. You can take it all out if you just want one big open compartment as well. On the front, since it's called a front loader, got an easy Velcro system on the front, and then it comes with a bunch of boxes on the inside ready to go. So easy to get in and out. Keep your boxes organized and a little bit easier than digging through, say, a duffel bag. Got a couple pouches on the outside, and then it's got a mesh pocket on the back, so you can throw some stuff in there that you want to keep dry. And sunglasses holder. One of the features you know, that I love to have on a tackle bag. I have one of the Daiwa backpacks, and it's something I would never think I'd use, but going out on sport boats and going out early in the morning, I always put my glasses in there so I don't ever forget them in the truck. And then you're not getting boat spray and getting them all wet, fog and mist in the morning. And then when you put them on, your glasses are, got to clean all your lenses, put them in there. They stay nice and dry, and then they're ready when you need them. All right, so that's going to wrap up today's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase any products seen here today, click shop or link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about.